Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome to EVE Talk, your weekly look at the market in EVE Online. So my main is still war-decked. It's been war-decked for an entire week and it looks like the war has actually been extended. So we're in for some interesting times. We'll see what I decide to do with the fact that I've been war-decked. I've got some options from other viewers as well. So yeah, we'll see. But we are here for the market, so let's take a seat, and if you've taken a look at the banner below, you already know that it's actually some pretty interesting movements that have been going on. So let us start at 40 seconds with plex, and we can see right here plexes 780 for the sellers, 770 for the buyers, so that's still down another 4 million. But it's not straight down, so after plex broke 780 it actually bounced back to 790 and now it's maybe trending down a little bit, but it's still very hard to say what plex are going to do. The 20-day moving average is pretty much flat just below the 800 million mark, so I think it could still go either way. What is good to see is that there are still plexes being brought to the market at 780 million and just below 780 million. Very recent orders here for just 24 hours. And over here, yeah, we seem to have at least somewhat decent supply of plexes. Not sure if this can actually change the entire psychology of the market enough to mean that plexes are going to go down for a more considerable amount. But at least it's interesting to see that people have been willing to go below 780 million. Let me see here for demand, that's holding at 770 million, and that's actually quite a lot of demand. Look at that, 53 of them, 23 of them. So we're actually going to need quite a lot of plex to be brought to the market, even at a price of 770, before we really see a drop. So that of course is the disadvantage. And over here actually the competition here goes all the way up to 790. Still here 50 of them being brought on the market, 85 of them at 790. So there is some competition on both sides. I think that's pretty good to see. Looks like a more healthy market than the one that's just continuously been going up. Not sure if it's going to last or if it's something that's going to be short-lived, perhaps because of the plex sale, the Cryos plex sale that CCP ran. But yeah, for now you can still get plexes below 800 million. Let's at least call that a little bit of a victory. Moving on to minerals then, and let us start with titanium. 500 for the buyers, 520 for the sellers, so that's down a little bit as well. If I go here for the 1 month chart, yeah, the correction towards 5 ISK is definitely going on. 1 month from 620 to 530. That's almost, that's 0.9 ISK less than what it was a month ago. So miners are actually taking a little bit of a beating here, but it must also be said that they had a pretty good 2 months here before this downtrend, maybe even 2 months pretty much, May and June, of rising and high prices, and now the correction is here, so that's also kind of normal. Next up, let's have a look at pyrite chart here. That one is just been cratering for 6 months straight. Let's go for a 1 year chart. You can see that it did know a big spike in February, but now it's actually on a 1 year low of 1050. So let's go to the 1 month chart. That's also just straight down, just like titanium. 1026 for the buyers, 1048 for the sellers. That's really not a lot for pyrite. Normal prices I've seen are more around the 12 to 14 ISK range, so this is extremely low. Not good news for miners. Let's have a look at Mexalon prices. 4416, 4758. I must say the margins have increased a little bit, which might just be a sign that we are in a somewhat healthier market. You can also see that supply demand, well, at least it's a little better. This big order here of 421 million units of Mexalon is a little bit older. So for the rest, 59, 22 here, 23, 23, 108 million being brought to the market. So yeah, this all looks actually like a much healthier market as well when it comes to supply demand. And yeah, Mexalon actually bouncing off a little bit off the 45 ISK price band. Actually a 6 month chart could be interesting here as well. Yeah, it was really at the bottom price right here. Now it's bouncing back towards 46. It's nothing too drastic, but at least, yeah, Mixalon might just not go into the crater together with Pyrite, which really is at a very, very low price at the moment. Might even be something that you can invest in. Let's have a look at the Isogen chart. That's pretty similar to what Tritanium and Pyrite have been doing. So we're looking at 113 ISK for the buyers, 116 ISK for the sellers. Also pretty low prices, I think, for Isogen. Maybe have a quick look at a 6-month chart to get an idea. Yeah, it's definitely a very low price for Isogen. So that's yeah, not good for miners here once again. And then next up, yeah, we'll have a look. Probably a 1-month chart is going to be interesting for the nullsec stuff. Maybe we should start with Noxium, actually, not with Zydrine. Noxium bouncing off of the 610 ISK price, and it's 611 for the buyers, 614 for the seller. So it's definitely bounced off of this, and it might just yeah, start moving sideways here. Might have reached this bottom. Let's have a look at supply demand here. 1.2 million units. That's another 10 million units. Here we can see almost 10 million units, although not all of them are very recent. But yeah, we could finally be in a more stable situation for something like Noxium. If you look at the 6-month chart, you can also see that that took quite a dive. Let's have a look then at the Megasite here as well. Still going down quite substantially. This is the 1-month chart from 1420 down to 1200 ISK. So we're looking at 1172 for the buyers and 1195 for the sellers. That's below 1200. That's actually not a lot. And I guess nullsec has been able to increase their supply with the Cryos changes, the changes to reprocessing, which allowed them to get basically the best refining yields in the game. So that's really going down quite a lot as well. And look at that. The price historically over the last 6 months going from 1600 to 1200. That's yeah, 1/4 of the price that's gone. And this does also show, in my opinion, if we go for Zydrine, it's going to be pretty similar. That even when CCP does something that some people might consider unfair, such as giving nullsec the best refining yield in the game, you know, some people say, well, how the hell is that fair? You can see that the market actually just adapts to these changes. They know that nullsec can have better refinery. They know that there will be more of these minerals coming to the market, and the price adapts to that. And yeah, their profits overall are, it's not like they have like this insurmountable or this absolutely unbreakable advantage now that they have this better refining yield through the market. This actually equalizes quite a lot, and a lot of activities in EVE Online actually find parity between one another. Between, of course, a lot of facets of them, like time spent, risk involved, and all of that. But it's actually a pretty self-balancing economy. And yeah, for people that were complaining about nullsec getting a buff to their refining yields, getting the best refining yields in the game, this is the reaction from the market right here. Their minerals have been cratering by quite a lot. And if we look at Morphite, that knew a little jump, but it's still holding on at around 6000 ISK. So that was really quite short-lived here as well. Anyways, that's it for the minerals. Yeah, most of them going down quite significantly. So that was not exactly what I was expecting from Cryos. Because of the loot reprocessing nerf, I would have expected that this might actually hold on a little bit better than what it did. Let's move on then to Tech 1 chips here, and we will start with the Drake at, well, let's put down 9 minutes for that. And the Drake going down significantly. Look at that. This is the 6-month chart. The 1-month chart could be pretty interesting here as well. From 47 million to 44.5 million. That's actually not insignificant. 20-day moving average from 48.5 down to 45.5, and that's going to continue to go down. And is it oversupply? 2029, 14 units here. Well, there is still the demand for that, although this is apparently a little bit older, these bigger orders. So it might be that indeed people have been producing a lot of these ships before Cryos because of how cheap it was, and now actually there is a little bit too much supply, and thus the Drake has been going down for a month straight. Let's have a look at the Maelstrom here. Yeah, I tried a little bit of a jump up here, but I think we're looking at pretty close to the Cryos release here, where indeed we are also seeing a correction from 194 to 176, really 176 for Maelstroms, yeah, and 21 still coming in here. Oh, we should keep a price like that. Yeah, that does show, I think, that we are in an oversupply. People have been stockpiling before Cryos, hoping that, I guess, the increased cost would actually increase prices a little bit. But yeah, if there's just too much supply, then prices actually go down. Omen, whoa, that one is actually going against the trend that I was expecting, going up to 11 million. Is there like some huge demand? Honestly, I think that supply has already reacted with 86 of them pretty recent here, 12 of them again here. A lot of competition in the sell order market, so this is going to be one of those short-lived price spikes here. I think the Omen will go back to a normal price pretty soon. Let's have a look at the rock here, 187 to 201 million. That's actually, looks like it actually held on. Although I must say, yeah, it came down from 201 million all the way to 190. Which is a pretty decent correction, and now it's back up towards 200 million, which I think is still a normal price for the rock, historically speaking. So yeah, maybe the rock seems to be holding on pretty well. And then the Talos, well, for the 1 month down a little bit, 27.5 to well, are we actually below 70? Yeah, we're actually below 70. 20, 16, 14 right there, pretty big sell orders here. So the oversupply, it might just be here indeed for some of these Tech 1 ships. I think it's a little bit of a trend. It's not super pronounced because people have been pretty careful not to flood the market before Cryos, and I think they're still decently careful about that right now as well. It's actually a bit easier also to see what your margins are with the new industry window. So this might actually balance out quite a little bit more. But for now, my general trend on the Tech 1 ships is actually a slight downtrend because of some oversupply. So let's move on to Tech 2 ships then, and that's at 1205. For some maybe some trade opportunities, stuff like that. Let's have a look here. Best go to the 6-month chart here. The Absolution still in sell order territory, in my opinion. That's still too high, and it's still on a actually on a little bit of a spike here, so yeah, maybe sell them if you have them. Astarte, look at that, pretty nice spike, reaching 290 million, 304, there's practically nothing on the market. If you invested in those like 3 months ago at 220 or even below 210, then yeah, this is a golden opportunity to make a lot of profit on this ship, but obviously in sell order territory. Claymore, that's actually a little bit of a weird chart. Look at this data point at 80 million right there. But 299, 285, so that's actually still pretty high here as well. Normal price you can see during these 6 months is actually 200 to 220 million ISK. This could be because of the Alliance tournament, you know, stuff like these command ships are actually pretty important. And if you want to have a few available for every single match, depending on your setup, yeah, some alliances might really have invested a lot in some of these command ships. Damnation, pretty high here as well. Is it still holding at 280? Yeah, pretty close to 280. So that's actually a pretty high price here to sell order territory. EOS, same here. I think because, is this the first tournament where the EOS will be a 5 heavy drone? Possibly. So yeah, this high price here could be, yeah, the EOS might be a popular ship during the Alliance tournament, and we're looking at close to 340 million, 350 even, for an EOS at the moment, which is obviously in sell order territory. Guardian, working on, this is actually a beautiful chart for traders. If you see something like this, that should really tell you that this is actually really good for trade money. Look at that, 130, spike to 170, breaking 130 again, and back up to 170 again. So that's a lot of money that you can make in this. We're actually looking at 175 for sell orders. You can definitely sell Guardians at 170 at the moment, and you could have bought them at on 2 occasions not that long ago, you know, since June, below 130. So you could have made like 40 million on every Guardian bought there pretty easily. That's actually pretty amazing. The Nighthawk is going to be pretty high because that's another command ship, so sell them if you have them. Sleipnir's here as well, and then the Vulture too. So yeah, that's the general trend in all of these command ships. I do think the Alliance tournament might have something to do with this. Next up we've got the Tech 3 ships, and I'm writing down 1450 for that. And you can already see that the Tengu has done something pretty interesting. So yeah, let's go for the 1 month chart and let's have a look here at the Legion. Look at that, taking off from 120 up to 160. People are investing in the Tech 3 ships. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Maybe somewhere on like some CSM note or something, a rebalancing of Tech 3 ships has been announced or something like that, but even the powders have followed suit. 155 to 164 for a Legion. That's not something we've seen in over a year. That's actually pretty amazing. And now I'm of course kicking myself for not having invested ISK in Tech 3s when they actually reached 120, which was like bottom prices. Yeah, that was just the opportunity really to make some easy cash there. But I was busy with other things. Let's have a look here at the Loki chart. Yeah, correcting back a little bit from 148, so let's hope it's not going to be too short-lived. A lot of supply for the Loki, still 80, 14, 22, 11. So look at supply for the Legion, yeah, still 98 of them coming in here. So it's interesting that it's actually been able to take off like that, but I do think people are actually starting to invest in some of these. If you look at what the plexes have been doing, going up for more than a year straight, and Tech 3 is the exact opposite. This does look to me like a good investment opportunity. Proteus, look at that, also going up to 165. Supply is there as well, so you could actually, if you think that these are still decently low prices, you could still jump on this. But it's amazing how in just less than a month time, I'd say 3 weeks time, they've gone up 50 million, 40 million, 1/3 of the price increase here in just 3 weeks time. Something is definitely happening. And then the Tengu also reaching 155 here from 125 just 3 weeks ago. This is a trend. This is across all of the Tech 3s, so something is happening there. And either it's investments because of the really extremely low prices, or it's null SEC alliances preparing for a war with Tech 3 doctrines. That's a possibility as well. But you can see that supply is still here. I mean, 49 Tengus, 26 Tengus, those are pretty big orders right here. And it's really interesting to see how they jumped so high in so little time. Yeah, it's one of those awesome opportunities that's actually passed now, unfortunately. And yeah, finally for the extra product, I'm going to take a look at the bosses. I've not changed that since last week. So structures, I want to see if after a few weeks after Cryos, if something has changed on the towers. So not deployable, but star-based structures, and we will have a look here at some of these control towers. Price history, the 1 month chart. Look at that, actually, look at that. Amar control tower up significantly from 235 to 270. Basically, I would have expected this before Cryos. It looks like it's actually after Cryos that this increase in price happened here, at least for the Amar control tower. But the medium tower up as well, 125 at the start, 135 right now. It's not that much, but it's almost a 10% increase. Amar control tower small. Knew its big uptick and then goes down. Honestly, I think that this is because you can actually get away with having one module for production, research, whatever. In a POS, a medium POS does actually make a lot more sense than a small tower at this point. At least that's my opinion. You can do pretty much anything in a single medium POS. Let's have a look here at Caldari control tower. That one against the grain, look at that, going down significantly. Could this have something to do with the Amar bonus with Cryos change? That's a possibility. Control tower medium for Amars though, which I would suspect is popular with high-sec players. Amar is the most played race. Excuse me, Caldari is the most played race. If you are a high-sec corporation that wants a POS, a Caldari medium POS is a very high chance. And that one actually went up from 112 to 126, so that's 14 million increase, more than 10%. That's in my opinion not insignificant. Caldari control tower small, also up from 55 to 70 million, not bad. Let's have a look here at Galente control tower, obviously up here quite a little bit as well. 230 to 260, something like that. Yeah, not bad, 30 million increase, it's not that much. Yeah, still dope percentage watch, more than 10%. The medium one here again, that one does look to have been able to hold on quite well to its increase in price. And then the Galente small control tower going up from 58 and now reaching 70 million. So there is obviously more demand for this. Look at the Minmitar control tower taking off here just very late. There must be something to do with the bonuses depending on the race, that some of them react a little bit differently. Let's have a look at medium Mar control tower. Look at that. Yeah, the medium one's definitely very popular. And then the small one also knew an uptick from 56 to 76, and it's still holding on at like 72, 73. So yeah, not bad. Look at control towers up for Cryos. So a lot of people are trying POSes out, are doing stuff with POSes, which I think makes a lot of sense considering you actually have fewer costs for your research and for your manufacturing in those. So yeah, awesome that this actually turned out to be true. I would have expected this sooner. I read the news about Cryos and I thought, yeah, let's have a look. I remember one of those EVE talks where, well, they're not actually moving. All of this is still pretty much normal. Looks like we had to wait for the actual Cryos release for the increase in price in control towers. So yeah, sometimes you get a jump on an opportunity, like the buying of Tech 3 ships at like 120 and below. Sometimes you have to be a little bit patient, like investing in some control towers and actually waiting for Cryos to hit, for the general populace to actually understand that, oh, I might actually want to buy a POS, then bring them to the market at a higher price. It's not an easy game, but I think it's definitely one of the more interesting aspects of EVE Online. All of this market activity. And I think, yeah, if you look at those, I think honestly, if you look at those nullsec minerals, this really huge correction over 6 months, that this does show that the market is actually a big equalizer here in the game. The nullsec alliances actually get an advantage over anyone in highsec because of their refining yield, but the market actually takes care of that on its own. And yeah, those prices have actually been cratering. I might almost use that word. Anyways, that's it for this EVE talk, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.